I'm Owen Murphy. I'm back here this time with girls lacrosse head coach, Coach Weber. Miss Weber, how are we?
Good. How are you, Owen?
Pretty good. Hanging in there. Um, so obviously with the closing of the schools, that means that the spring season will also not be happening for this year for all spring sports, which is very unfortunate. I know personally I would not be happy if my season got canceled just as an athlete. So it's got to be crushing for all the players, especially the seniors who won't be able to play with the colors on them one more time. But can you just tell me a little bit about the team that you did have coming into this year or expected to have playing this year?
Yeah, so this year we were really excited. We lost 4 seniors last year, but this year would have been the first year I would have had the freshmen when I took over the program. So these would have been the seniors that I started with. So it is kind of really sad and upsetting, especially for these girls since they put in so much time. We had 4 seniors this year. 3 of them were captains. They've been with me since I took over the program, and they have grown incredibly, not only as lacrosse players, but as girls in general. Maggie, we were returning our top scorer this year, so and she's going on to play in college. So we were really looking forward to a great season. We were in a different division this year, so we had higher expectations going into the season. And we're also returning a lot of underclassmen this year, such as Elle Priestling. She was like our second top scorer as a freshman last year. Trisha Gillen, the DeLolo twins, they all contributed last year as freshmen. So we were really looking forward to this year. And also our sophomore class last year of Erica Shug, Haley Kennard, Carly Walker, Ryan Wall are all really strong. So this year we really thought would have been our year, to make strides as a program and just kind of improve our record. So it is really hard, especially as a former college athlete, to kind of go through this. And as a coach, in the beginning, it was hard and it still is. And before Governor Murphy said that obviously we weren't returning to school, there was hope and we were giving them workouts every day and wall ball and things to keep them motivated. But after he kind of closed down schools, it's kind of been hard to keep the girls motivated because what is there to work for? They don't even know if they're having their summer season, and especially a lot of the sophomores and the juniors, especially the sophomores, it's their year to get recruited. So I don't know, it's hard for them to stay motivated, and who even knows what's going on with the summer season? They keep pushing the tournaments back and then they keep canceling them. So
no one really knows.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Maggie. Last year she had 50 goals. She was a star as a junior. You've had her since freshman year, I believe. It actually came out on NJ.com that she was one of the players from Group 3 that we were going to miss out on this year. Can you talk a little bit more about Maggie's impact on the program from when she started until now?
Yeah, so actually Maggie, she was at Union Catholic her freshman year, so she transferred in her sophomore year. So she missed most of her sophomore season due to the 60-day scout rule. Last year really was her first year, and she's just a dynamic player. She can take over when we need her to score. She can score. She does everything on the field. Her work ethic is unmatchable. If it's during practice or after a game or after practice or on the weekend, she's always putting in the extra reps and stuff like that. So we were really looking forward to her this year, especially eclipsing another 50 goals or more this year was her goal, get 100 goals in her lacrosse career, especially since it would have only been 2 years really in the program. So she is, I would say she's very short and small, but that doesn't really stop her from anything. And she has extremely good stick skills, and she is able to feed anyone the ball. So we are kind of really upset that obviously the season isn't here anymore, and she would have been a huge impact to our program this year.
Yeah, and just from a coaching standpoint, obviously you have to try to communicate with different grades differently. You have to, because the seniors, you kind of have to just, handle their emotions about not playing again, where meanwhile the sophomores, juniors, freshmen, you got to still look forward to next year and get them ready for next year as well. So how have you kind of maintained the emotions of the team throughout this, you know, coronavirus?
So our captains and our seniors have been really good throughout this whole thing. They have organized like Zoom meetings that we can talk live and stuff. We also use like Google Classroom to post workouts and videos and like weekly challenges. If it's not lacrosse related, it's like a bake off or something that they want to do.
Hmm.
So that's how we've been communicating. Recently, we haven't really had any Zoom
Yeah.
meetings. The girls are more focused and they say they have a lot of schoolwork now that they know the season isn't going on anymore. So
Yeah.
I think recently it's been hard to communicate with them, but we're trying to honor our seniors also in a way how they should be celebrated. So we have a few things planned for the seniors kind of to give to them, and
Yeah.
we're hoping to have a little Zoom end of year celebration with our seniors somehow, but it's still in the works.
Yeah. So the girls lacrosse program has been around, but it's also fairly new compared to the other programs we've had at our school. Um, and it seems like every year that it gets better and better and better, and we keep advancing more. We do better in the state tournaments, better in the county tournaments. Can you talk a little bit about how the girls program has, progressed over the years?
I think it's an interesting. I really think that the youth program has played a huge role in getting girls to come out now, especially starting them at a younger age. You know, like soccer was and is still what Scotch Plain is and is all
Mhm.
about, but luckily lacrosse is in the spring, so we can still get some of those soccer athletes to play now, which is where we were kind of falling behind, whereas they were all, sticking to soccer and not wanting to play lacrosse. But
Mhm.
I think that with the youth program, especially now in the younger grades, like second, third, fourth graders, we're having the numbers there. So it's really starting them young, like any other program. In order to be a good program, you have to start the kids at a younger level. That's how even in my own pro town, like I started playing field hockey and lacrosse in like second grade, and they
Yeah.
had programs there at that age level. And I think that's kind of where we're getting to. But I mean, our middle school is still kind of lacking in the numbers, and this year our
Mhm.
freshman team we didn't have very big numbers. We only had maybe 13 girls, which is enough to field a team, which is fine. But I think
Yeah.
in the coming years we're getting there, and girls are starting to join club teams. They're starting to play, in the summer, in the fall. And I think it's just expanding, and that's why we have been able to grow.
Yeah.
And I think with girls that have the experience and start to become like juniors and seniors, and they start to become captains, they really realize like, oh, like we want to be good. I'm gonna hold captains practices in the summer. Like I'm gonna get the team together to go to
Yeah.
like a 7v7 tournament so that we can compete with, Westfield, that is our neighbor,
Mhm.
and Summit, rather than like, oh, we can't ever play with them. So.
Yeah. Exactly. And you kind of mentioned and touched before of the underclassmen you guys have, and they're going to be returning next year. And it seems like you're still going to have a pretty strong group. So now that you know the season's over, are you starting to plan and look forward to next year now, so you're prepared and ready for the 2021 season?
I mean, I haven't really looked that far in advance. I know
Yeah.
we will have a really strong senior class, and we also have a strong sophomore class. Wait, no, junior class for next year.
Yeah.
And the freshman class, we have a pretty solid group of girls, if they work hard and do some stuff over the summer. But I really think that, obviously the girls haven't been able to play this fall, and usually the summer would be where most of them are playing their summer tournaments. So
Mhm.
um, I haven't really planned anything. I'm not really sure what we could plan. I mean,
Yeah.
and moving into summer, fall sports start, and a lot of girls play soccer and field hockey. So I do give them that time to, focus on your fall sport. Like I'm not going to
Yeah.
pressure you into playing lacrosse year round, but I know um, the girls that will be seniors next year, they do play club pretty much all year round because
Hmm.
that's their thing, and they want to play in college, and they are, still looking to play in college, but the recruiting process is in a holding period right now. So
Yeah.
who knows at this point, but I
Yeah.
haven't really looked into the future. But I mean, with our numbers and the girls that are returning, um, hopefully, they put the work in and we will have another strong season next year.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's good that it's something to look forward to. And finally, here, do you have anything to say to the seniors that you worked with for the last few years?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Do you have anything to say to the seniors that you've worked with for the last few years?
I would say, during this time is a time to really kind of reflect. And although you guys did lose your senior season and it is upsetting and depressing and hard, kind of to go through it. I mean, I honestly don't know what I would have done in this
Yeah.
situation, because it is really hard, especially because lacrosse was like my entire life. And I was going on to play in college like Maggie is. So
Hmm.
I mean, Maggie still, has an opportunity to play in college, but for everyone else, I just tell them, learn from it, kind of take this time with your family to learn new things, enjoy the time, and then when the time is ready to come back, hopefully they put that work in during this time that they're ready to go.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me and stay safe. All
Thanks, Owen.
right.